Welcome to our journey through one of Jesus' very first miracles. Open book today, we explore the moment he turned water into wine at a wedding in Cana. This isn't just a story about a party, it's about faith, purpose, and the beginning of something divine. The scene opens in Cana, a small village in Galilee. A joyful wedding is taking place, filled with celebration, music, and dancing. In ancient Jewish culture, weddings were a big deal, lasting for days and involving the whole community. Among the invited guests were Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Jesus himself. He also brought along some of his disciples. At this point, Jesus hadn't performed any public miracles. He was still mostly unknown outside of his small circle. Everything was going well, until a big problem arose: they ran out of wine. In that culture, this wasn't just inconvenient, it was embarrassing. Running out of wine at a wedding could bring lasting shame on the host family. Mary, Jesus' mother, noticed the situation. She didn't panic, she turned to Jesus. She simply said, "They have no more wine." It was more than a statement. It was a request. A quiet nudge of faith in her son's divine power. Jesus replied, "Woman, why do you involve me? My hour has not yet come." It may sound harsh, but it wasn't disrespectful. He was reminding her that his mission followed God's timing, not human plans. But still, Mary believed. Mary didn't argue. She turned to the servants and said, "Do whatever he tells you." This is powerful. She didn't know how Jesus would solve the problem, but she trusted that he would. It's a moment of pure, confident faith. Nearby stood 6 large stone water jars. These weren't ordinary jars, they were used for Jewish purification rituals. Each one could hold 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus told the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And they obeyed. Once the jars were filled to the brim, Jesus gave a surprising command: "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." The servants didn't question him. They just did it, even though they had only filled the jars with water. The servants took the liquid to the master of the banquet. As he tasted it, something incredible happened. What had been just plain water was now wine, and not just any wine. It was the finest wine he had tasted. The master of the banquet was stunned. He called the groom over and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much. But you've saved the best till now." What's fascinating is that the miracle wasn't flashy. Jesus didn't draw attention to himself. Most guests had no idea what had happened. Only Mary, the disciples, and the servants knew. But for them, it changed everything. John tells us this was Jesus' first sign, the first public miracle revealing his glory. And his disciples believed in him. It was a quiet beginning to a world-changing ministry. A miracle not just of transformation, but of identity. This wasn't just about saving a wedding. It was a symbol of what Jesus came to do: bring joy, transformation, and abundance. He turns what is ordinary, like water, into something extraordinary, like wine. Mary's words still echo today: "Do whatever he tells you." The miracle began with obedience. Even when we don't understand the plan, faith opens the door to the miraculous. Trust, obedience, and belief, those are the keys. The story of Jesus turning water into wine shows us his heart, his power, and his timing. It's a reminder that God can use small beginnings to do great things. Whatever you're facing today, he can bring joy out of emptiness.